Hey guys, I'm going to be sharing with you this amazing, delicious, juicy, and flavorful oven-baked jerk chicken. Let's go ahead and get started. Now I have some chicken here that I have cleaned. I've removed the excess fat and excess skin. I've left the skin on, but most of the excess ones I've gotten rid of. And what I've did is I've cut some slits in the center of my chicken by taking the tip of my knife. I find this the easiest way. Take the tip of your knife and kind of just stick it in the center and then start cutting. You don't really want to start at the edge of your chicken because you're not really separating your chicken, nor am I making these all the way through. I just want to make some holes in there so the marinade can really seep into the chicken. I've also done that with my legs. I've done them with legs. I'm making this with legs and thighs. So I'm just going to go ahead now and let's get started on our marinade. So this chicken has been, I've cleaned off all the excess fat and just had all those little slits in them. Now for the marinade, we're going to need a few ingredients, or maybe a little bit more than a few, but we have some cloves of garlic as well as a green onion. We've also got some culantro leaves here, also some thyme. You're also going to need an onion and some ginger as well. All the amounts will be listed below in the description box for you guys that I've used. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put all these things together in a blender. So I'm just going to give everything a rough chop because it just helps it go in my blender easier. Just give everything a nice rough chop. That's about 2 to 3 large green onions. I'm going to add that in, and my culantro leaves as well. Now, this is not by any means a traditional way. This is just my way of doing it, and it is delicious. So, I'm just going to go ahead and give that a rough chop. As well as my sprigs of thyme. I'm just going to cut that in half and put that in my little blender cup here. I'm going to go ahead and start peeling my garlic, and I'm also going to just give this a little rough chop just to help it along with the blender. So I'll go ahead and add my garlic in, as well as my whole onion. This is about a medium-sized onion. I'm going to go ahead and add the whole thing in. Give it a rough chop as well. You're also going to need about a tablespoon amount of ginger. You can either give it a little chop or you can grate it in. I'm also going to add in some salt and some black pepper. Now you need a good amount of that black pepper in there. You really want that flavor coming through. We're also going to add in some cinnamon. Now cinnamon is needed, but it definitely don't want too much of it. It's not a dessert we're making here. You really do want the flavor of it, but not too much. So go ahead and add a little bit of cinnamon as well as a little bit of nutmeg. And we're also going to be adding in some allspice. Now I'm using the allspice whole berries. You can even use the ground allspice if you want. Another important flavor, but definitely can be overpowering, I'm using 6 to 8 of these berries, which I find to be a perfect amount. Go ahead and add these beautiful little berries to my blender cup here. I'm also going to go ahead and add in some vinegar, just some regular white vinegar, as well as some ketchup. Now, like I said, guys, this is not, a traditional way of doing it. Just the flavors, all these flavors together work so beautifully for me. I love this marinade in the chicken. It's amazing. My ketchup, now I'm going to go ahead and add in some brown sugar. Now, if you need a couple extra tablespoons of water to help this blend up, you can definitely add it. And all we're going to do at this point is just take this over and blend it up. Nice, smooth paste that we're going to use as our marinade for our chicken. Pour that goodness all over the chicken and get your hands in there. And we're really going to work this marinade into the chicken. Tossing that chicken all around in the marinade and trying to get the marinade into the little holes that we made in the chicken and under the skin and everything. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Get the marinade all in there. Now, of course, the longer you marinate this, the better. If you can leave this overnight, it's gonna be fantastic. But use whatever time that you have on hand. If you only have a few hours, then that's all you've got. then use it. I mean, you know, I even use this as a great freezer meal. I like to put this in a disposable baking tray and then pop it in the freezer, and when I'm ready for it, just defrost it and put it in the oven. But today we're making this one time, so let's go ahead and put it in our large baking tray. Now I like to use a large baking tray because it gives it some room and some air, especially when we're putting it under the broiler, which we'll do later on. Place my chicken in there, but use whatever pan you've got on hand. After I've placed my chicken in there, the remaining bit of marinade I'm just going to go ahead and put on top of my chicken, tuck it in little holes, get it under the skin, whatever I can do with it. Try and get it all in that chicken. Because it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Now we're going to go ahead, and our oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to cover this up with some foil and have this bake for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken. Now mine took about 45 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in the oven for 45 minutes, and then after 45 minutes we're going to go ahead and make a nice little sauce that we're going to be glazing this with. In my saucepan here, I have some ketchup and some barbecue sauce. Use your favorite barbecue sauce. And to that, after our chicken has come out the oven, you do want to be careful because it will be hot. I'm going to remove the foil, and some of those juices that the chicken has rendered out, we're going to take about a 1/4 cup of that along with the seasoning, whatever's at the bottom of that pan, and add it to our ketchup and barbecue sauce. I'm also going to add in a dash of cumin, and we're going to mix that up. I'm going to baste this on one side of my chicken. I've bumped my heat up to 375 degrees and let it bake for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to remove it from my oven, flip it over, and baste the other side with that delicious sauce that we just made. And it's going to go back into my oven that is now 375 degrees for another 15 minutes. Now after the second 15 minutes, we're just going to go ahead and remove it from the oven again, flip it again, skin side up this time, and we're going to baste it one more time, and then put your broiler on and then put it in there for about 2 to 5 minutes. Every broiler is different, so it may take a little bit longer, it may take a little bit shorter. You do want to keep your eye on it until it has that nice char on top of it. And oh my goodness, it is good. Making me feel like I want to make some right now. I love to serve this with my coconut beans and rice. The sauce on this is so good over the rice. It is so good over the chicken. Make this with some macaroni pie. You've got yourself a great meal. Go ahead and serve this up with whatever rice of your choice. Take some of that sauce, guys, and pour it over your chicken. Pour it over your rice. Like I said, it is delicious. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe. Do give it a try. Remember, I said it's not traditional, but it is delicious. And I think that's all that matters at this point. Go ahead and garnish this up with some wonderful cilantro leaves. And that is it. All the amounts will be in the description box for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.